stuffed him. He stuffed him. He stuffed him. Nice block. Wow. Great penetration. Surge through the middle of that. Michigan State first and goal. Touchdown. Yeah. Outstanding play.
Good evening, everybody. This is Brian Mosallam, along with my co-host Jason Strayhorn on Inside the Locker Room. You are looking live. Jason, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic, Brian. How was your day?
Fantastic.
It was.
Doing okay?
Yeah, looking good, man.
Your shirt looks fantastic.
Thank you.
Is that a real?
Yeah.
That's real?
Yeah, it's real.
What's that suit cost?
$13. You know, man, come on. Just another black man trying to make it. So,
I'll tell you,
we carry on.
Hell of a week, haven't we?
Yeah, kind of.
Hell of a week.
It's been a good week.
It's been a very, very interesting, fantastic week. Why
are you smiling? Yeah.
Just happy.
Because of Spartans. I mean, it beat me. I was going to ask you, like, why you have this glow about you right now. What is that about?
When you're 6-0, you smile and you're happy, and it makes things better. That's all. But
just a little
I'll
bit
tell
of
you
winning.
what, when you're 6-0 and football season's going well, it makes it extremely enjoyable when you're able to. Because when you start off the year in a bad way, it changes the whole mood for the fall. But very happy for the way our boys have started out, and quite honestly, I think Michigan starting out the way they has
two teams.
Yeah,
how about that?
2 teams.
Yeah, we got Michigan playing well, Michigan State playing well. So like everybody is anticipating, the 7-0 matchup by each program, but each team has a game and a bye week, not in that order, to go before the big game, though.
So before we get to that big game, though, we went into Piscataway, New Jersey, and took care of business, right? Michigan State walked in there, and as we know, winning is hard. Winning on the road is even harder, right? And walk into Piscataway, winning 31-13 the way we did, showing the big play capability that we have, I think speaks volumes to where the program's at. I think you and I both know, being around the program for as long as we have, the speed that we have on the edges, and obviously K9 in the backfield.
Obviously, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, obviously K9, but the weapons, this is something that, all me and you and all kinds of Spartan dogs all talk about is, when's the last time you seen or heard of something like this as far as the dynamicness of the offense and the way that they can beat you with, it's, as you said, Naylor, you got Jaden Reed, then you got K9, like who do you want to pick? Pick your poison. If you double one guy, we got the other guy. Like there's no college football teams that I know of that have 4 or 5 strong defensive backs. And if you don't, most NFL teams don't have that. It's difficult. That's one of the most difficult positions in the game. That's why they pay those guys what they pay them. So it's very difficult. That's why Nick Saban has adjusted his offensive philosophy from power attack to pass. It's hard to defend the pass. They've recruited more receivers. Like receivers, the value of receivers is questionable. So when you look at Michigan State, by default, and this is, hey, we got to give some credit to Mark D'Antonio. Those are some of his players out there that we're talking about. And it's not about selecting the talent. I think that the guy, look, both coaches have done a phenomenal job. It's just a different level right now, and it's all come together. And you look at highlights like this, 3 touchdowns over 60 yards.
I don't think in our lifetime that we have had speed on the edges the way that Michigan State has right now. When you look at Reed, Naylor, look at the running back.
What's his name?
Naylor.
The running back, man.
Hold on, we're not there yet.
Okay.
But when you can put stress on the backfield of a defense, right? Mm-hmm. When you can stop them from crowding the box, and you're able to extend the field, and you're able to make them get 8 out of the box, and you're able to play the defense that they have. We, quite frankly, have not seen that in East Lansing in a while. And like you said, credit to Mark D'Antonio. When you look at Trey Mosley, you look at Naylor, you look at Reed, you look at some of the speed we have on the edges. These are all Mark D'Antonio kids.
That's right. Don't sleep on Trey Mosley.
Yeah. Credit to Coach Tucker. The way that he's been able to mold these.
Look at this play right here.
Yeah. Listen.
This history right here.
You do not run a play like this if you're not a first round draft pick, quite frankly.
Oh, no question.
No, I mean the burst.
Even in the era of devaluing the position of running back, that guy is valuable, extremely valuable.
No. I mean, when you see the way that he's able to, the burst, the speed, the way he's able to play, I mean, it's absolutely, it's something special. When you go back to Le'Veon, you go back to T.J. Duckett, you go back to even in our era, right? You talk about Dwayne Goulburn, you talk about Cedric Irvin, you talk about some of the guys. We have not seen Mark Renaud, yeah. We have not seen a back with that combination of speed, burst, able to turn a 4-yard gain into a 9-yard gain, able to turn a 13-yard gain into a home run.
Yeah.
Right? We haven't seen that in a while. And if you have that capability where somebody can go the distance in the backfield, it really changes the complexion of the whole game. And it changes the complexion in which a play caller calls plays. I mean, really, if you think about it. And there's no question he's a difference maker. And so when you look at these stats, right, when you look at Peyton Thorne, you look at Jaden Reed, you look at Jalen Naylor, and you look at the numbers that they put up, I believe this is the 5th time in NCAA history where you've had a quarterback throw for 300, a back run for 200, and a receiver catch for 200.
Yeah.
And these are things that just do not happen every day. They do not happen every day. And it's a credit. If you have big play capability, you are in every game, period.
Yeah, I don't care what you say. You know, the statistics in this case don't lie, especially when you look at the level of competition that Michigan State has played. This is not like, Michigan State is going and playing against Pansies, people who really have no business being on a Division I football field. These are very good programs that are well coached. And they do play, if you're into the transitive property game.
That doesn't work, Jason.
If they're into that,
that does not work.
It speaks for itself. So if you're not into that, Brian,
that doesn't work.
Listen,
transitive property in football does not work.
It's human nature, transitive property.
Because if you apply the transitive property to football,
take the human out of people. That's everybody does that.
You're not. We beat Rutgers by 18.
I know y'all
Michigan lost by 7. We should beat Michigan by 11. That doesn't work.
So then that means I can beat them.
That doesn't work. That doesn't work.
That's the people that don't. Competition's a different level than that. There's more to it than that.
Look. I'm telling you, the edges, the speed that we have on the outside, the quarterback, the calm. The ability.
Peyton Thorne's handling business out there.
Yeah.
13 and 2. That interception was not an interception. It wasn't. I don't know. I don't know if we have that on tape, but Rutgers, Peyton threw an interception in that game. That absolutely was. It was not an interception.
Speaking of interceptions, let's go to the defense. Yeah. And I really thought when you watch that game, the defense, when you go into halftime, right, and you're always looking at a coaching staff, and you're trying to figure out what kind of adjustments do they make. Are they able to adjust to the game, to the tempo, and to the speed? And you saw their defense. You saw the way that MSU's defense played and shut Rutgers out in the second half.
Yeah.
And credit to the coaches. Credit to the coaches for their adjustments.
Yes.
For their ability to go into halftime and dissect the correction that needed to be made. But there
Credit
was
to them
also
putting in number 27.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Coach.
people don't realize when you're missing the quarterback of your defense, right? How important that is. And I thought Cal Halliday came in there and was without question a difference maker in the second half.
Yeah, he was not allowed to play in the first half because if you can remember, the less than favorable call went against him against the Hilltoppers at home when he barely grazed the top of a guy's helmet with his forearm near his waist.
You sound like a homer.
So, hey, I'm a
You sound like a
factual guy.
homer, Jason.
I know. Home what? The team that was at home got screwed on that call. Absolutely. That happened on homecoming. So call me a homer. Simpson.
But when you have a Loving on defense, right, and you got your quarterback out, who was out the first half, who really is the heart and soul of that defense, if you really understand football, comes in second half and is able to adjust and readjust and make the correct alignments and correct play calls. You saw not only that, but the tremendous corrections the coaches made at halftime.
Yeah.
You're able to see the adjustments being made, that this is a well-coached team. You got your quarterback in there, and they shut out Rutgers second half.
Yeah, wasn't even close. Shut them down. Halliday comes in there. Cal Halliday. No wrist tape, no gloves, no nothing, just naked arms out there. You don't see a lot of naked arms in football. Pay attention next time. Everybody has something on their arm, especially when you have to shock people the way you had to shock with your hands. Cal Halliday don't need that. He's a big old country boy, and he knows how to play the game. He's got a nose for the ball. There's a knack that young man has for getting to the football in a hurry. And he's not bad against a pass. So,
is he a 3-down linebacker?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All day long.
And why are you calling him a big country boy?
Because he is.
Where's he from?
He's from out there in Kansas, somewhere like that. I don't know. Hey, listen, he's from out there, but I'm glad he's here. Period.
But he's another D'Antonio kid, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, he can make plays. I mean, if you understand football and you understand how important the Mike linebacker is, who can play. I mean,
Mike middle linebacker.
I'm sorry. If you understand how important the middle linebacker is and how much he means to the defense, you understand what a difference he made second half. And when he came in, credit to the coaches, credit to the adjustments they made at halftime, but the kid can play.
You're just buttering the coaches up, man.
No, the kid can play.
Credit to the coaches, but
The kid can play.
Listen, Mel Tucker said he wants players that can rise above coaching.
Did they?
Nah, not yet. They ain't there yet. They ain't there yet. Getting there.
So listen, we all know how hard winning is. All right? We know going on the road and winning is even harder. We know that. I mean, we know that. So here you are, you're walking into Piscataway, you're playing a team that you thought was, just got their butts kicked in Columbus, played Michigan tough, down 20-13, and you expected, listen, Greg Schiano is a great coach.
Oh, yeah.
There's no question. Greg Schiano has a great reputation. And as every Spartan knows, right, this was a trap game. Everybody felt this was a trap game.
Every game's a trap game now.
Yeah, every game's a trap game now.
That's how it is. When you start winning like this, every game's a trap game.
Especially the next one, right? but you start to worry, and you say, all right, are our kids focused, and are they ready, and are they looking ahead? And when you're at Michigan State, you can't look ahead. Quite frankly, ask Alabama. When you're at anywhere, you can't look ahead. right?
No, absolutely not. You can't look ahead.
No, I mean, because every game, I mean, they find 11 to go on the same, 11 in unison, execution, on the same page, same intensity, same buy-in, same belief. You know, that's a credit to the coaching staff. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, that's the culture that they have at Michigan State. It started years and years ago, but now they actually are able to adapt to the times. I think that, you know, one of the strengths of a good coach is to be able to adapt through the different times and phases that we have in a game, the evolutions that happen in the game. And right now, the evolution of football is in good hands because I think that Michigan State is creating. They're the ones almost getting to a point of trend setting what's happening now and in the future for college football.
You know, credit to Coach Tucker because he said, you know, after the game, we got to clean some things up. You know, he acknowledged, right? We're going to get better.
Yeah.
We're going to keep chopping. We're going to clean some things up. You know, there are some things that, you know, clock management stuff. And, you know, when you're a head coach and you're able to self-evaluate and the self-awareness.
Yes.
When you have self-awareness of what you're doing and what your program's doing, it's obviously he's easier to have self-awareness when you win, right? But to have that self-awareness.
Always ready to break that film down, huh?
To have that
we
self-awareness.
won by 30, Coach. Hey, man, let's watch a film, Coach. Let's talk about this. You're absolutely right. Mel Tucker gets it.
He is not satisfied. You got that, Stick?
You know why we pushing so hard? Okay, why we pushing so hard? Because when you can be great, why settle for anything else? Yes, why settle for anything else? When you know you can be great. Okay, all of us. This next week, we're all gonna do a better job. Okay, coaches, players, everybody. We're gonna tighten the screws, attention to detail, sense of urgency. We're gonna work with a purpose, and we're gonna get ready for the next one. Okay, and we're just gonna keep going. We're gonna keep chopping, but nobody's gonna out chop us. Nobody's gonna out chop us. Nobody's gonna out chop us.
So when you see Coach Tuck and you know the preaching attention to detail, focusing on cleaning the things up, right?
Yeah.
Understanding that you got to keep chopping, keep grinding, keep pushing. But I think what makes a program so good is the humility and understanding the self-awareness.
Yeah.
And understanding that they got things to clean up, and nothing better is learning through winning. Right? When you win and you learn, yeah, it makes things a lot easier.
You learn either way. You know, you learn if you win, you learn sometimes more when you lose. But this team has got things rolling where they have a chemistry and a belief, a self-awareness that they like, hey, you know, why not us? Why not now? They really believe that. And I think that when most people would look at, including myself, when you look at 41 new faces on one team, you have to factor in a heavy, you know, risk factor in chemistry and how is this going to work. And they've done a masterful job of being able to get all the players first on the same page mentally, because without that, you have nothing. And the strength and conditioning has improved, which Michigan State's always been great strength and conditioning-wise, but has actually improved, which is incredible. And then the way, the intensity of the practices and everything, it has gotten to a point where the players are believing that the practices are harder than the game. And they are playing that way. It shows, and that's why they're 6-0.
I agree with that because practice has always been harder than the games. But practicing that self-awareness – And you know, you play the way you practice.
Yes.
And you play the way you practice and understanding the things that you need to get better at. And it's funny because when he talks about keep chopping, right? You buy into that. Buy into
a mantra.
It is a mantra, but it's more than a mantra. It's a culture.
Yes.
Right? When it's a culture and it becomes a culture and the players start believing it and you keep doing all these things that you need to do to take the program to the next level, because there's going to be mistakes, right? There's going to be mistakes. There's going to be growing pains. You got 41 new players. you're indoctrinating half the program into a new culture, and getting everybody to buy in, all on the same page, moving in the same direction. It really is a credit to coach.
Wow, man. You just had me have visions of all Spartans worldwide, buying into the keep chopping mantra and everybody being incredible human beings everywhere.
Anybody that
best hires you could ever find.
Anybody that chops is a incredible human being, right?
No question about it.
I mean, if you chop, you get it. If you chop, I want to hire you.
Yes,
it's that simple. You're gonna
I'll
come
be
work
next to you.
You're gonna come work for my program.
Yes.
So now, and as they say in football, the mantra goes, right? You got to go 1-0 each week, right? So now Saturday we head into Bloomington.
Oh yeah.
Head into Bloomington.
The classic trap game.
I don't buy that crap. I just don't buy the classic trap game, because when we played, we knew the next important game. The next game was the most important. Nobody ever looked ahead to the next game. And so now you're playing an Indiana team who has their quarterback, who we believe is one of the top 3 or 4 quarterbacks in the Big Ten. Michael Penix Jr. is not going to be playing this week, who, quite frankly, when you think about Tim Allen.
Yeah.
Or Tom. Close enough. Tom Allen has built a hell of a program.
He has.
And when you watch Coach Allen's program, you see what they did. You see what they did last year, and then even watching them on the sidelines, right? They passed the eyeball test. I mean, he's built depth. He's built a program that can compete. We believe year in and year out, and this is a tough game heading to Bloomington.
Without question, it's a tough game. Michigan State has, not had a lot of success, against Indiana. Indiana has given Michigan State fits over the last decade.
Oh, fits.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Just, this is a game I think that, people around here, get up for because it's a trophy game. The old brass spittoon, if you guys remember that one.
The old brass spittoon.
Yes. This is a trophy
how important
game.
The old brass spittoon is?
This is extremely important to the Spartans. And
Do we
Hoosiers.
have one at home?
We
have a picture of one?
There's
a picture of one stick?
Yeah. Yeah. The old spittoon, where they used to chew tobacco, and they didn't have Mountain Dew bottles.
You chew tobacco?
No, but the Mountain Dew bottles, you got the, you see them boys with the Mountain Dews, and they get that dip right behind that Mountain Dew, man, and then they all day long. No, I don't chew.
So historically, when you talk about Indiana, people have known it as a basketball school, and
there it is.
There it is, right there. There it is, right there.
William Golston.
Yeah, Will Golston. That's an old pick. What's that? 2010, 11. But you've over the years you've watched that program ascend. Yeah. Ascend in a place where it's hard to recruit, quite frankly, where the basketball has been the focus, that geographically is not located in the best of places for college football, where
he's just taking shot after shot after shot.
Where Jason Strayhorn is from.
Of me. Yeah.
He's from Indianapolis, where very few football players come out of Indianapolis. That we want to recruit.
That's not true.
Oh, sorry, it's right.
We got ballers in Naptown, man. Don't sleep on Nap. There's been a few of them. Michigan, Notre Dame, Ohio State.
I won't sleep on Elmo Steakhouse. But when we're talking about what's that movie called? Jimmy Chipwood.
Jimmy Chipwood.
Yeah, Jimmy Chipwood.
I don't
care. Gene Hackman, basketball. What's it called?
Hoosiers.
Yeah, this ain't Hoosiers.
Hoosiers.
We're talking football here.
High school basketball.
Keep chopping. Makes no sense.
Zero. What is wrong with you, Brian?
I'm confused. Listen, I'm confusing Jimmy Chipwood, keep chopping, Tim Allen or Tom Allen, Indiana football. At the end of the day, we have to go to Bloomington. We got to go 1-0.
Way to become bulletin board material, Brian.
We got to go. We got to go 1-0.
I don't care. It's incredible. It's incredible the stuff he comes up with. I mean, do you believe it? Can you believe the stuff that comes out of his mouth?
We're going. Hey, the mantra is chop in Bloomington for Jimmy Chipwood. No. Close?
No, man.
All right.
Go Spartans, go.
Anyway, listen. At the end of the day, it's very hard to win in football. It's very hard to win in any sport. And going on the road and getting the W ahead of your rivalry requires tremendous focus. It really does. And Michael Penix Jr., their quarterback, has been ruled out, which we wish him all the best, right? We want him to be healthy. But like this is a trap game. This is your classical trap game. I mean, and there is concern because they always play us hard. Every year they play us difficult.
You know, I guarantee you they will play us hard. And I also guarantee you that we're going to bring K9. You know K9? Do you know who that is?
Who's that?
It's just, we got us a Heisman Trophy candidate. A live one.
Wait, let's stand up for a second.
I think this is for the first time since did Lorenzo? I think Lorenzo might have been involved in that.
I got to talk to you about this. I need
before
to
that,
talk.
we're talking about my man Sherman Lewis.
We got a Heisman Trophy.
1963. That's a long time ago.
No,
man.
but let's be seriously. When is the last time we had a Heisman Trophy candidate?
I just said
legitimately.
Whether it was Lorenzo White, I don't know. I'm not sure. I think it was at some point. I mean, he was, if not being invited to New York. But I do know that Sherman Lewis, I think, finished second in the Heisman voting.
Oh, did he finish that high?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. So here we are now. We have, the nation's leading rusher. And
this is Times Square.
Look at this, Times Square. Credit to the university, okay? And credit to Justin Spiro, Darko State News. Here we are in Madison, on Madison Avenue, I believe. And that is right there.
Yeah.
So that's a university right there that understands what they have.
For Heisman.
Yeah, I love that. That understands what they have, that's carrying the ball in the backfield. And you have to, when you lead the nation in rushing and you come out of nowhere, and when you have the burst, the speed, the acceleration, the ability to turn, not only go the distance, but you have the ability to take a 4-yard gain into a 9-yard gain. And what does he have to do to win the Heisman?
I honestly think he needs to just keep doing what he's doing.
Vegas had him at plus 1,400.
Yeah.
Now he's plus 1,200. He's moved up. So he's moving up.
Yeah.
What does he have to do to win the Heisman? Do we have to keep winning, or does he have to have gaudy stats?
I think it's a combination. I think that we keep winning, the gaudy stats come one way or another. I mean, if you're great, if you want that Heisman Trophy love, I mean, you have to do things that people just don't do. The mere mortals just don't do, especially at the running back position in 2021. You're going to have to be dynamic, man. You're going to have to do it better than anybody can do it. But not only that, you have to do it week in and week out. You can't take a week off, man. Not at all. And if you do get shut down for 1 week, you got to come back with something monster like that, his first carry, that we just watched. But he's able to see that back door, how you can just outrun. Nobody's able to do that.
In our lifetime, you and I, as players and both fans, have we seen a back with this kind of burst?
No. Wearing the green and white?
Yeah.
No.
No.
And I think most of them will tell you this. That's the truth.
But we've had backs.
Great backs.
Great backs.
You said burst.
Yeah, the burst, the shake.
Yeah.
The ability
the jump cut.
Yeah, the jump cut. The ability to just make an offense. Look at this run right here. This run right here. When you look at what he did this run, This here talks about the acceleration, the vision,
it shook that guy.
the burst, the ability.
Great block by Jaden.
Here's how you win the Heisman. You shake hands.
Yeah.
That's how you win the Heisman.
Just moments that you
Moments
haven't
that you
seen
do.
and you can't replicate.
No, you really can't if you think about it.
No way.
So when you talk about running backs like that in our lifetime, right, and you talk about his ability to turn a mediocre play into a big play, what will it take? How many wins will MSU have to have for him to win the Heisman? Is there a number?
I don't know if there's a number. I know you have to win. You can't lose, because if he's getting the stats that he needs in order to be in consideration, Michigan State will be winning. It's going to be hard pressed to beat Michigan State if he's getting 150 plus yards a game. Not him. With the attention he's going to get, and that's exactly what it will take for him to win it. So would I think that a guy in college can do that? No, I don't think so. But I don't think he's just your average college guy. He's pro ready.
No, he's a first round draft pick.
Yeah,
and we've never had a back with that burst. What I appreciate is that the university recognizing that and understanding that when we have a young man that can play to that caliber, to make sure that we put him on the biggest stage, that we put him in Manhattan, right? That we put him in Times Square.
Yeah.
That we're able to showcase him, because I think it's well deserved, number one, and I also think it's important to show
great advertising, man.
Yeah, but it's also correct, but show future recruits, future players that hey, we're going to showcase your talent. We're going to showcase your talent, and we're going to make sure that if you're able to do these things, that we're going to put you front and center. And when you look at,
that should bring him a lot of some of them nephews in Lansing deals, right?
Yeah, sure.
You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
Nephews in Lansing deal, NIL.
Yeah.
He got to get a lot more. Hey, you go to Times Square, nephew in Lansing.
How does
he should get paid?
Here's a great right here. Look at this view right here. Look at this.
I love this view.
You cannot teach this. If you know anything about look at that. If you know anything about football,
look at him.
That is remarkable.
I mean, he actually waved at everybody before he crossed the 50.
Look, it's just his jump. Look at that jump cut right there.
That's confidence.
You can't teach that.
Right here, he waves. He knows there's not a human on the planet that can run me down from there.
That is
after I get to that level.
You can't teach that, and that is special. And I think how did Wake Forest? How did he enter the portal? Do you have that answer?
I don't have the answer.
Wake Forest undefeated right now.
Yeah. Imagine if they had him.
But how does he enter the portal? It's remarkable to me that he would enter the portal, that we're able to grab him. And when you speak to some of the coaches, they talk about how they showed him that we're going to showcase him in this offense. And all the accolades that he's earning is well deserved. But you cannot win the Heisman if you don't keep winning. You have to keep winning. That's the most important thing there is. And I think the most important thing is that the university is showing him that, hey, we are going to stand with you. We're going to showcase you. We're going to make sure that you're front and center. And everything that we have to do to get you to the publicity, to win the Heisman, to be in contention, to be in the discussion, we are going to do. But first and foremost, it starts with winning. And credit to Coach Tucker, credit to the staff, to the marketing team. I appreciate the fact that he's actually in Manhattan in Times Square, because I didn't know if that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody saw it coming. You know that he deserved it. The moment that it showed up online for everybody, we all knew. I mean, there's not a person in the country that can say that guy doesn't belong up there. I mean, he belongs there, and because he belongs, Michigan State is being able to be branded across the world. When you're on a building in Times Square, you're literally everywhere at the same time. So it's great for Michigan State. It's great for K9.
And what I hear, everything that I hear about him, he's super humble, super down to earth. I was talking to a parent of some of the young men in the drumline who want his autograph, want to start a podcast, want him on their podcast, and he said he'd love to. And I really appreciated the humility.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's a wonderful young man, and he understands the significance of what the drumline means, what the band means, just the little things, the little details that really that go with the pageantry of game day of the university. And I can appreciate that. I really truly can, that this stuff doesn't get to his head, honestly.
No, it can't. And that's something that you see with this man. You see that he has like a very superb level of focus. His ability to just block out the noise and do his job is something that it's pretty much legendary. It will be. When people look back on his career at Michigan State, they'll say, man, the work ethic that he has, every single carry, I don't care what drill it is, he's sprinting to the goal line. Like his life depended on it. Every single rep is that way. I've seen some great running backs, Brian, but the level in which he works, you have to appreciate that. And that's exactly why it produces the fruits of the labor that he has already put in. It's like when we watch him, I say, well, man, of course. The amount that I see that young man work, of course he's in Times Square 6 games in.
You practice the way you play. Everybody that tells you practice the way that you play, every coach will tell you the same thing.
Yeah.
Speaking of big heads, the University of Michigan went into Lincoln. And I was just joking. That's a tough place to play.
What's the big heads about, man? They won.
They did win. And winning is hard on the road. And if it's for Michigan or Michigan State, it is very, very hard to do. And credit to the Wolverines. The Wolverines walked into Lincoln and beat Nebraska 32-29 off of Cade McNamara's arm, off of the rushing attack led by Blake Corum. And, I thought they played very, very well. They withstood a onslaught, a very tough crowd, tough place to play. And, it's plays like this right here. You see this play at the end of the game. Scott Frost has lost 16 one-score games since he's been the head coach. And it's because of plays like this right here. Yeah. Players make plays. Culture setters, programs win based on plays. And with 1:49 left in the game, you can't fumble the ball to lose the game. You just can't. Man, right here. You just cannot do it. And this is a culture, a mindset that permeates throughout many organizations.
Yep.
And credit to Michigan, right? Credit to Michigan for walking into a hostile environment, improving to 6-0, a night game on the road in Lincoln, who, by the way, are the most wonderful people, treat their fans the best, treat their guests absolutely wonderful. But that's a tough place to go in and win at night. What are your thoughts of that, Jason?
Oh, man. Look, that's a real tough place to play in general, let alone at night, prime time. I mean, they started off with fireworks and, the light show and all the demonic music that they always like to play. And they know when to play and how to play and how loud. It's just, it's pretty much pandemonium in there as a whole. It's one of the, I'd say pound for pound, the loudest stadiums in the Big Ten. Ohio State's at the top of the list down in that old horseshoe. But I'll tell you what, these people are, it's very difficult to play in Lincoln. And Michigan, hats off to them for being able to do it because, I know Scott Frost has had some tough goals. I mean, he's had some
tough luck, man. I'm telling you.
Going into Norman, Oklahoma, he goes into Oklahoma and barely loses that game.
Plays Oklahoma tough, plays us tough, plays Michigan tough.
We stole that from him.
Yeah, I mean, he's played. I mean, you're talking. They're right there, right? You're talking about 16 one-score games since he's been the head coach, and turning that tide, turning the Titanic is hard, right? But when you you fumble with 1:49 left at home, how do you teach to not do that? Is that a culture thing? Like, what
Maybe
is that?
He's not yelling enough because I guarantee you there's a lot of yelling going on in Nebraska.
No,
it's nuts. It's
I mean,
inexcusable.
16 one-score games. Think about that. Since he's been the head coach, that's like turning the Titanic, right? That's like, you and I played. It's every time the game gets close, waiting for something bad to happen. How many coaches tell you that? You sit there, you're waiting for something bad to happen.
Yeah.
How many times have you heard that in your life? Think about that. Think about that. Like, are you waiting for something bad to happen, or are you going to go make a play?
Yeah, and you could tell, like, the energy on the team, like the guys that would, like, want to fade to the back.
You can.
You can feel it. You can feel it.
Oh, shoot, what's going to happen now?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Like, what's going to happen now? And it permeates. It manifests, right? It happens.
Yeah.
And that's a culture change. And I mean, Scott Frost has a massive rebuild to do when it comes to culture change, right?
Yeah, he does. He's got a massive rebuild. I think he's a good coach, good dude, very relatable to today's player too. I don't think Scott Frost is a bad coach by any means. I think that he's been a victim of some misses, some big misses in recruiting. Everything that works in certain regions.
But Martinez has been there 12 years.
Doesn't work in every region.
How has a quarterback been there 12 years? How's that possible?
Man,
COVID was 1 year.
He had the extra COVID. I don't know. He had one of those exemptions from.
COVID's been there 1 year.
He's been there a long time. Him and his brother.
No, but he's been there since
Martinez.
I was 12. How's he still there? I'm so confused. I really am.
It's so funny. We all say that every year there's a player on some team.
Every team
that's been there 42 years playing college football.
Coughlin broke the record, which is fantastic at MSU. But he's 17 years he's been there. I'd break the record too if I was been there 17 years.
17 years.
How does that happen?
So he is Teen Wolf.
But how does that
Michael J. Fox, man?
How does that happen? How's he able to get around NCAA eligibility?
Hey man,
look at his freshman picture to now.
Back to the Future.
He looks 32. and I'm with all due respect, 32 looks great. I'm just saying.
How you gonna call the kid 32?
No. Well,
hey man, that young man is 18, maybe 19.
Listen.
That's it.
32 is a compliment.
Okay, Brian.
There's nothing wrong. Don't call me Brian. 32 is a compliment. We're good with that. But
we love 32, huh?
Yeah.
It is a great age.
I'm telling you, it's a great age. But Martinez, since I've been
You're always trying to look 32.
Listen, I remember Turner Gill and then Martinez. I don't remember the 6 quarterbacks in between. 84, when they dropped the ball. They dropped the 2-point conversion against Miami.
Oh, yeah.
Turner Gill was on the field. Then Martinez came in 85.
85.
That's all I remember.
Come on, Brian.
I'm just telling you what I remember.
The man has... Okay. This is crazy.
I'm just telling you what I remember. So now, it's been ratcheted up. Headliner. Yeah, you know what? We're talking way too early about this. Way too early. You know what? Stick, shame on you for putting this up there because I'm going to tell you what, man. In football, you got to go 1-0. That's it, Stick. You know, when you start talking about Mark D'Antonio joining our show October 26th, and you want to show highlights like you got any highlights right now that you want to show us, Stick? Make me flip this table over. I mean,
Coach me, coach.
Can they hear us? Yeah, because I'm getting mad right now. Like, why are you showing a mean mug of Coach D? Coach D's going to join us October 26th, and I'm about to flip this table over. But, Stick, we got Indiana first. So, that's, we got to go 1-0. We can't focus on that.
1-0.
We need to focus on Indiana. We need to focus on Bloomington, the Hoosiers. But we are so excited for Coach to join us October 26th. And, football is a game of segments, right? It's about taking everything one step at a time. So I'm not sure why you want to show Coach D, 6 weeks prior. But great. We love Coach D. We can't wait for him to come October 26th. But the focus is Bloomington. And we're going to shift to Bloomington, because if we head into October 30th, both teams 7-0, Stick, you better see these windows here? You better put wood on the windows, steel bars. We're about to go throw down that week.
Hide the women and children? Is that what you just said?
All I'm saying is that week brings out a different level of intensity. And we're not biased. We're not biased. Not at all. But MSU
Never.
wins that game 84-0.
The Spartans.
We are not biased at all. And we refuse to be biased at all. But you got my juices flowing. Let's shift focus here to the Detroit Lions. Lions find another way to lose. And I don't know if you have any highlights, but
Oh my!
I always, I watch the Lions every week or every week.
On a 3rd and 7, what are you calling here?
What
you got the matchup down here that you were talking about. It's not Bobby Price, but
37 seconds.
They keep it safe with Madison to let the clock run. And the Vikings are going to have to punt it away.
Fumble.
And it looks like the ball was taken away, but
oh my God. They're going to reverse the call. Lions punch it in, score, go for 2. 17-16, 37 seconds left. Every Lions fan in America is saying, we know what's coming next. Everyone. Every Lions fan in America. 54-yard field goal. How many times have we seen this? Jason? How many times have we seen that ending?
Are you sure you are not emotionally involved with your Detroit Lions?
I am not. I really am not. Okay, but
you say that.
No, I'm not. But when we did a show a few weeks back, we showed the 4th and 19 conversion in the preseason, and it was the 8th string they had in to lose the game. It was maybe the 9th string. We did, right? You remember?
Yeah, I do.
So we had the 8th string in, and probably maybe one of those 11 on the field are still on the team. Yet, who was it? I forgot which team it was. They found a way to get a first down and win the game. And now we see this. And it goes back to it being a culture problem. All right, this is the Lions' culture problem. But if there's one saving grace, and I'm the biggest Lions critic, okay? I've always said all along that the head coach of the Lions has to feel the pain of the fans. He has to feel how we feel. He has to feel the pain of the players. He has to understand the heartbeat of this town. And when I saw Dan Campbell's interview after that game, I honestly, from the bottom of my heart, had so much more respect for him because he felt it. We never saw that from Patricia. Dan Campbell felt it.
When you when you see your players give all that they have and you lose that way, it's tough. You know, you don't want that for them. So, but we'll be better for it, you know. And there again, credit Minnesota, but you know, we made the one mistake that cost us, you know, and so ultimately, you know, we didn't do enough to win. But I was proud of them, and I love the fight they have in them, and I love the grit.
So if you want to endear yourself to the fan base, what did you think of that, Jason?
You know, I thought that he would win a lot of Detroit fans over, not only like right now, but the residual effect of that. You know, what's going to happen in media, you know, we're going to play that over and over and over again, you know, and he's the kind of guy, his grit and determination. I watch his body language, right? When, you know, they score the touchdown and then the go-ahead 2-point conversion. And when I'm looking at that guy as a football guy, I don't know him personally at all, but I can see confidence. I know it when I see it, and he's in a different mindset right now that is what this culture needs in that locker room. The guys in that locker room like him, want to play for him. He's got his hands tied behind his back right now, talent-wise. Everybody knows it. I mean, there's not a soul in America that doesn't think otherwise. So, you know, but I think that he's a guy who could be the guy for this moment in time for the Detroit Lions organization to turn things around. If there ever is going to be one, Brian, because if not, I don't know which way they want to go.
You know what? You can lose the game, but you can't lose your team.
Right.
Okay? And I think the emotion that he showed and the care that he showed endeared himself to the fan base.
Yes.
And I think he earned a lot of respect for that.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the NFL is an interesting league. Your players, they got to want to play for you. All right? They got to want to play for you. They got to want to battle for you. They got to want to run through a brick wall for you. And when he did that, and he came out and he showed that raw emotion, I think every Detroit fan can identify with that. Every Detroit fan can. Every player can. And the way he felt for his players and how much it meant to him, I honestly think that's how you change a culture. You know, you change a culture with that approach. We have never seen a head coach in Detroit feel that way, act that way, publicly express that way. Never. And I got to tell you, like, he sold me. I mean, he didn't mean to sell me, but he made me believe that he's all in. He's all in, that it's not just another job, and he understands the pain and suffering of the fans. And I've been the biggest critic of the organization. I really have. But I'm not going to lie to you. Once they give him the pieces and they build it around him, I actually think they got it right.
Yeah.
I think they got it right. Because there is nothing more important than a locker room that wants to play for you.
No.
And if the locker room wants to play for you, right, when you got a bunch of millionaires that are adults, that want to be treated like adults, that you show them that you care about them, which he did, and he spoke to it, and he wore his emotion on his sleeve instead of the nothing burgers that Patricia gave. You know, I think he needs to be commended and respected for that. Yeah. Now, they don't have the horses, they don't have the pieces this year, but if you get guys to buy into your system and believe, you will bring the pieces here. Now, will that happen? That remains to be seen. But the way he reacted after that loss endeared him to the fan base. It really did.
No, there's no question about that. You know, Dan Campbell, he's a guy that people, you know, were respected because, you know, you saw how high the Ford family was on him when he got hired. I mean, it was a gaze in old Sheila's eyes that we had never seen before. But as you fast forward and you see how he handles himself in press conferences, and you see how the players are playing for him, even in spite of losing the ball game. You got to know that he's a guy that guys really want to be around and really want to play for. And the grit and determination that we have here in the city of Detroit is something that he's a perfect fit.
His candor is it's refreshing. I mean, when you get a coach to speak and wear his emotion on his sleeve, it's refreshing. What is not refreshing, and the candor that is not respected, is Jon Gruden. And what in the world, was he thinking? When you read some of the comments that Jon Gruden said, how he was, from racist to homophobic to misogynistic, talk politics, talk whatever you want, however you feel about this, but as a CEO of a $5 billion organization, you cannot be a leader of men. You just can't. And I'm stunned at how many people came out after he made those comments about DeMaurice Smith. How many people came out and said that they're, Jon Gruden is not this and he's not that. And then the rest of those emails were leaked, clearly leaked. Somebody had, wanted people to know what was out there. But they show a pattern. There's a pattern. When they show a pattern, and it's quite disturbing, to be honest with you, because you lose your locker room. And as a CEO of an organization like that, quite frankly, you can't lead men when you talk that way. We all know those comments are racist. We all know they're homophobic. We all know they're misogynistic. We get all that, right? But let's remove the politics. Let's remove, the viewpoints of everybody here. Let's talk about being a CEO of an organization, a $5 billion organization. And when you speak in that manner and that tone, as disgusting as those comments were, you just can't lead an organization. You just can't.
No. As evidence in his immediate firing once the news broke.
He resigned.
He resigned.
Something tells me that if the New York Times article didn't break,
the owner ran into the building after hours.
I saw that. Yeah, I did see that.
Ran.
Something tells me though that if only the comments about DeMaurice Smith broke, something tells me that he would have been able to survive that, which is very disappointing.
Yeah,
it took everything else, the comments about the misogyny and the homophobia, for really to force his resignation. But it's
should be telling.
Yeah, and I didn't hear any current players come out and say anything. I didn't hear anybody.
They're scared, man.
Why?
Why? They don't understand what that would mean to their career and their paycheck.
Did they watch? Tell me why. Did they watch Kaepernick? Did they see what happened to him? Is that why?
Man, it just needs to be more of a movement versus when guys talk that way or think that way. If they speak out, they're kind of on an island in most locker rooms. You don't see a lot of, large groups of guys getting together, for a political cause. It just won't.
But this ain't even politics. It's about human dignity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Look, Grude's had a lot of guys come out and say he's not a racist, he's not this, he's not that. But they developed a pattern here of several years of comments. I mean, regardless of what you think he is and the comments that he made, obviously those comments are disgusting everywhere around.
Of course.
But you cannot be a leader of men and lead a $5 billion organization when you make those comments.
I know.
But the NFL...
Brian, you know as well as I do that going back in the day now, way back in the day, there were coaches, not head coaches per se, but there were a lot of coaches that used language like that, like in our younger years growing up, and then, just football in general back in those days, way back yonder. The things that people would say, you would overhear on a college football practice field in 1994, if those same things were heard in 2021, everybody would be gone. Everyone, all the time. And I think it's just more of people were desensitized before and weren't aware. I think, again, with the evolution of like who we are as a race of people, not one race, all the human race specifically, then it's something that, Brian, we gotta do better, man.
We gotta do better. Anyway, thank you for joining us. We another episode of Inside the Locker Room. We appreciate everyone. I am your co-host, Brian Mosallam, alongside my co-host. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Alongside my co-host, Jason Strayhorn. It's been a pleasure. We will see you next week on Inside the Locker Room. Thank you.
Good night. God bless.
We just chopped Rutgers 31-13. A race of the race leader, this school has come too long. His best speed is winning, as far as playing the ball. Our teams are never beaten, all through the game they fight.